Have you ever seen a person who has been through a tragic car accident? I'm not talking about the obvious injuries, the broken bones, or the cuts you can see. I'm talking about something far more insidious, something that can transform a person completely while leaving no visible mark on the outside. Meet Sarah. 3 months ago, she was a 32-year-old marketing manager, a devoted mother of two, known for her patience, her quick wit, and her infectious laugh. Her husband Tom describes her as the glue that held their family together. Then came a Tuesday afternoon, a minor fender bender at an intersection. Sarah's airbag deployed. She felt shaken but walked away from the scene. No blood, no broken bones, just a headache. She declined the ambulance, went home, took some aspirin. 2 days later, Tom didn't recognize the woman sitting across from him at breakfast. Today, we're diving into one of the most misunderstood and dangerous consequences of car accidents: traumatic brain injury. And I promise you, by the end of this video, you'll never look at a minor car accident the same way again. Here's what most people don't understand. Your brain can be severely damaged without your head ever hitting anything. Let me explain how. Picture your brain floating inside your skull, suspended in cerebrospinal fluid. Now imagine you're driving 40 miles per hour and suddenly slam into another vehicle. Your car stops instantly, but your brain? Your brain keeps moving forward at 40 miles per hour until it crashes into the inside of your skull. Then it bounces backward, slamming into the opposite side. Medical experts call this a coup contre coup injury. The brain gets injured twice, at the point of impact and at the opposite side. And here's the terrifying part. The skull that's supposed to protect your brain becomes a prison when things go wrong. If your brain starts swelling or bleeding, there's nowhere for it to expand. The pressure builds, and it can be fatal. According to the CDC, traumatic brain injuries account for about 30% of all injury-related deaths in the United States. Car accidents remain one of the leading causes. Yet so many people walk away from crashes thinking they're fine because they can't see the damage. Sarah walked away. She thought she was fine. This is the part that haunts emergency room doctors. The delay. The symptoms of brain injury don't always show up immediately. You can feel relatively normal for hours, even days, while something catastrophic is happening inside your skull. After Sarah's accident, she developed a headache. She thought it was from the stress. The next day, she felt nauseous. She blamed it on something she ate. By day 3, Tom noticed she was forgetting things, simple things like where she put her keys or what they'd discussed that morning. She seemed irritable, snapping at the kids over nothing. Then came the moment that changed everything. Tom found her in the bathroom, confused about where she was. Her speech was slurred. One pupil was larger than the other. He rushed her to the emergency room. The CT scan revealed what had been building silently: a subdural hematoma. Blood had been pooling between her brain and skull, creating pressure that was crushing her brain tissue. Medical professionals emphasize watching for specific red flags: severe or worsening headaches, repeated vomiting, unequal pupil sizes, extreme drowsiness, slurred speech, weakness in your limbs, seizures, or growing confusion. If you notice any of these after a head impact, you need emergency care immediately. But even subtler symptoms matter: memory problems, vision changes, sensitivity to light or sound, sleep disturbances, difficulty concentrating, or sudden mood changes. These can all signal brain injury. Not all brain injuries are created equal, but even the mild ones deserve respect. A concussion might be classified as a mild traumatic brain injury, but there's nothing mild about permanent cognitive problems from repeated concussions. Athletes have taught us this the hard way. Then you have contusions, which are bruises on the brain tissue itself. Hematomas are blood clots that form between the brain and skull or within the brain. Both can be life-threatening if they create too much pressure. The most severe is something called diffuse axonal injury. This happens when rotational forces during impact cause widespread tearing of nerve fibers throughout the brain. It's the kind of injury that can leave someone in a coma for weeks or months, and the impairments that follow can last a lifetime. Here's something that surprises people. Closed head injuries, where there's no obvious external wound, can actually be more dangerous than open head injuries. Why? Because they're easy to miss. There's no dramatic bleeding, no obvious skull fracture, just invisible destruction happening inside. Sarah's injury was a closed head injury. From the outside, she looked fine. Inside, she was running out of time. Sarah survived. The surgery relieved the pressure, the bleeding stopped, and after weeks in the hospital, she came home. But Tom will tell you, the Sarah who came home wasn't the Sarah who left that morning 3 months ago. This is perhaps the cruelest aspect of serious traumatic brain injury. The frontal lobe of your brain controls executive function, impulse control, and social behavior. It's particularly vulnerable in car crashes. When it's damaged, the very essence of who you are can change. Families describe it as losing someone who's still alive. Sarah, once patient and nurturing with her children, now has angry outbursts over minor frustrations. She takes risks she never would have taken before. Her emotional responses don't match the situations. Sometimes she seems completely flat, emotionless, when she should be happy or sad. She struggles with tasks that used to be second nature: managing the household budget, planning meals, following conversations with multiple people. Her processing speed has slowed. She can't return to her job. Tom and the kids are learning to live with someone who looks like their wife and mother but responds differently, thinks differently, feels differently. It's a grief that doesn't come with a funeral, a loss that's hard for others to understand. This isn't unique to Sarah. Survivors of severe brain injuries often develop impulsive behavior, social disinhibition, uncontrollable mood swings, aggression, or withdrawal. The ripple effects touch everyone in their orbit. Here's what could have changed Sarah's story. If she'd gone to the emergency room immediately after the accident, doctors would have caught the bleeding early. Early intervention can prevent the pressure buildup that causes permanent damage. This is why medical professionals are adamant. After any car accident with potential head trauma, you need to be evaluated immediately. Even if you feel fine, even if you just want to go home, even if it seems like you're overreacting. Emergency departments can perform CT scans or MRIs that reveal bleeding, contusions, and fractures invisible to the naked eye. Early detection serves multiple purposes. It enables treatment that can prevent further damage. It establishes a medical baseline so doctors can track any changes. And it creates documentation that becomes crucial if you later need compensation for your injuries. Insurance companies and courts require medical evidence to validate traumatic brain injury claims. Gaps in medical care can destroy even legitimate cases. Some people need observation periods, where someone monitors them for 24 hours watching for changes in consciousness, speech, or behavior. Others need hospital admission if imaging shows any concerning findings. The uncomfortable truth: internal bleeding and swelling can be occurring even when you feel perfectly normal. Your brain doesn't have pain receptors, so you can't feel it being damaged. Recovery from traumatic brain injury varies dramatically. Mild concussions might resolve in days or weeks, though some people develop post-concussive syndrome with symptoms lasting months. Severe injuries can require extensive rehabilitation: physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy, neuropsychological counseling. For some, like Sarah, adaptation becomes a lifelong process. She's relearning how to be herself, how to parent, how to exist in a world that suddenly feels overwhelming. Support from healthcare providers, mental health professionals, and legal advocates helps families navigate the complex aftermath. While compensation can't undo brain damage, it can provide resources for lifelong care, cover lost income, and address the profound impact on quality of life. Sarah's story isn't unique. It happens every day to people who thought they were fine, who didn't want to make a fuss, who walked away from accidents that seemed minor. So here's what I want you to remember. When it comes to potential head trauma after a car accident, caution isn't overreacting. It's survival. The injury you can't see might be the one that changes your life forever. If you or someone you know has been in a car accident, even a minor one, get checked out. Don't wait for symptoms. Don't assume you're fine. Your brain is too precious to gamble with. Thanks for watching. If this video opened your eyes to something you didn't know, please share it. It might save someone's life. And if you've been affected by traumatic brain injury, my heart goes out to you. You're not alone.